Today I'm going to be talking about how we created pandemic-proof HMOs and didn't even realise we were doing it. So our business model at Scott Baker Properties has been to improve on every single project that we do. So we started off with smaller HMOs, doing 5 beds and 6 beds, where there were en suites, some of them not all en suites, but the rooms were slightly smaller and the communal spaces were slightly smaller. And then we learned that actually we need to evolve a little bit, move with the times. We need to design them a bit better, create a bit more space. And so every project that we did was slightly better than the last. And through that evolution process, we developed what we called our next level HMO strategy. And with that meant that we were going to do mainly all en suites. We were going to do rooms which are at least double size rooms, so 10.5, 11 square meters with that ensuite on top. So all in all, probably 14, 15 square meters of space per bedroom. So we need larger properties. And also we're going to be creating better, more usable and user-friendly communal spaces. And we've been doing that since about 2018 now. And there was one in particular that we'd started and it finished in March 2020. And if you remember what happened in March 2020, that was when the pandemic started to be more of a problem and we went into lockdown. So we were like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? We've got this 8-bedroom next level HMO, which we don't know whether people are going to want to rent rooms, whether they're going to pay the rents we wanted. So we have market leading rents in Warrington between $550 and $600, whereas the average rents are between $450 and $500. So are they going to continue to pay that? Are there going to be enough tenants around? And we were racking our brains to decide, what should we do? Should we drop the rents to try and attract the few people that are looking to our property? Or should we maintain the rents as where we wanted them to sell the fact that these are quality rooms? And we decided to do the latter, to not drop the price, because when you drop the price, it's very hard to get that back up again. So the rents remained high. And actually, because we're going into pandemic, people wanted to live in rooms. For example, doctors and nurses, they needed spaces to be near hospitals. There were more of them being brought in. And there was more logistics, so Amazon warehouse workers and other distribution providers needed staff as well. So there was a part of the market which was growing where people needed work and people needed to stay close to that employment. But they wanted to know that they had a safe space, so a room with an ensuite so that they could self-isolate in there if they needed to. They also needed to know that they could potentially be in a community of people that if the house was locked down, that they could hang out with. They're not going to be isolated by just by being in a 1-bed flat by themselves. And also they knew that they wanted space. If you're going to be isolated in a house, you don't just want to be isolated in a cell, a really small 6.5 square meter room. You want to be in a room which has got a space where you can do stuff in the room, where you can work from the room, you can work from the house. So we'd inadvertently created these rooms which we thought were going to rent really easily before the pandemic and ended up renting very easily because of the pandemic. And even though some people left some of the rooms in our portfolio to maybe move back in with parents, they filled again very easily because we'd created this next level HMO strategy. And that trend is not going to change in a hurry. People will pay for quality, they will pay for space, and they'll pay to be in a community of like-minded people. Because when they're in that community, they will stay for a long period of time, which just makes great commercial business sense from our perspective as the landlord and property investor. So I hope that proved useful to give you an insight into why this type of accommodation can survive in very difficult times as well as in boom times. If you like this video, please hit the like button and then don't forget to subscribe so you get more updates from what we're doing at the HMO platform. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next video.